Namaste. Welcome to GoSlowYoga. I am Linda Premanandhi. I am a yoga teacher and I'm training in 2020 as a yoga therapist. Today I would like to teach you how to sit in Vajrasana, that is sitting back with the sit bones on the heels and with the knees in full flexion, knees together, rising up with a nice straight spine, open chest. This can be really difficult for some people to sit in, but it's the perfect posture for the practice of pranayama, the practice of breath, the practice of life force, the practice of saving energy effectively and efficiently in the body. But it can be very painful for people who may have got some damaged knees or feel that they can't flex the knees. Lots of different reasons. Could be the size of the body also will inhibit this. It was a big problem for me when I first started to practice yoga. I could not sit back on my heels, and a lot of it was to do with the quadriceps. The quadriceps were tight and they wouldn't stretch. And I also had a left knee injury from a fall, which is still a little bit tricky for me, but I built up to Vajrasana in a safe way, which I'm going to show you. There are a couple of ways you can do it. Maybe when you kneel up on your knees, you can take a bolster, a pillow, or a couple of cushions or blankets and place them under the bottom, and then see if you can sit back. And this may well be a lot more comfortable for you as you're training the quads, as you're training the knees, you're training the spine. It could be as high as you like, and then of course you can in time remove a cushion at a time so that you eventually, and it will take some time, so it takes patience. Yoga is not a sprint, it's certainly a marathon. You come back to sit on your heels, which is perfect for breath work or sitting in meditation, because the diaphragm has enough space to rise and fall without inhibition. It's very difficult to slump in this position. It's easier to slump in cross-legged. It's easier to round the spine. So I'll just show you a side-on angle of my spine. So I'm looking at the camera now. So let me move these cushions so they don't cloud your view. So my back is quite comfortably straight. My head is in the middle. I'm not tilting from one side to the other. I'm not stretching forward and I'm not stretching back. This is why when you're starting in Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose, you hear some people call it hero pose. I call it Vajrasana. The higher the cushions are, the less the flexion, but it still means, and you may need a pad under the knees, which you need to take what your body needs initially. So this feels pretty comfortable. This feels pretty comfortable. Another way to practice this is to get some blocks. These are yoga blocks, but you could have books, you could have a pile of magazines. It doesn't have to be blocks, it can be, cookery books are quite thick and they can be, quite sturdy as well. So I'm going to put the blocks in between my knees there. And maybe I even have another one. I'll bring my knees slightly forward and then I can sit down. And there's not that much, there's a bit of flexion on my knees of course, but it means that I can sit up quite comfortably without putting too much pressure. And this may well be where you start, and little by little, moment by moment, consciously with awareness as you're practicing, you might come down to 2 blocks, or it could be 3 or 4 books or magazines, whatever you've got. Maybe you come eventually to 1, and maybe in the longer term you come to none and you can sit on your heels. And it's really important that you do things in your own time. There's absolutely no race to it. You may never get there. You may sit on blocks for the rest of your yoga life, practicing in that way. But I would say that given time, with me, it certainly took at least 6 months, I would say, for me to sit back in a nice Vajrasana posture where my heels were really underneath my sit bones, and I was making that connection, and my back was nice and, well, the back is never straight, but it was long and strong, and my chest was open, and I could put my hands gently onto my lap and practice meditation or pranayama. So take it slowly, do your best, and leave the rest. And thank you for practicing with me. This is going to be really important in terms of your breath practice, in terms of preparing the body to sit still in a seat that can allow the lungs, the ribs, the diaphragm to function at their optimum level. Thank you. If you like my work, subscribe, or if you just like it, you just can press like, and I hope to see you again. Thank you very much.